Imagine you're Meghan Markle. You've spent years working hard to build your image, every photo perfect, every appearance carefully planned, each word chosen with precision. But imagine all that effort falling apart instantly on live TV, with Kevin Hart holding the mic and cracking jokes at your expense. It was the night of the 2025 BT Awards. Everyone was excited to see Kevin Hart, one of the funniest comedians around, and they expected some good laughs. But nobody, absolutely nobody, was prepared for how brutally Kevin would roast Meghan Markle. Looking straight into the camera with a playful grin, he dropped the line, "You know what I love about Meghan Markle? She's like a Pinterest board that hired a PR team." The laughter in the audience exploded. Gasps, giggles, phones out, capturing every second. Instantly, Meghan became a viral meme around the world. Meme Meg started trending on Twitter. But this wasn't just any roast. It was a public humiliation unlike anything Meghan had faced before. And what made it worse? She wasn't even in the room. Not by her own choice either. Reports from insiders revealed Meghan actually tried to attend the event, but was denied. That organizers decided her presence would be too distracting, pulling attention away from celebrating Black excellence. Why was Meghan suddenly considered such a distraction? Well, it might have something to do with her Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. This series was supposed to make her relatable and genuine, but instead, it backfired spectacularly. Critics didn't hold back, calling it an overproduced Pinterest board. They mocked scenes of carefully wrapped lemons, staged kitchen chats, and perfectly timed tears. Headlines dubbed it $100 million worth of nothing. Kevin Hart's joke wasn't just funny, it highlighted something deeper. People were tired of Meghan's carefully curated image. The authenticity she promised seemed artificial and staged. After the BET Awards roast, behind-the-scenes sources said Meghan was furious. But what really upset her wasn't just the joke, it was the loss of control. Normally, Meghan could carefully manage her image, plan her responses, and keep things tidy. This time she couldn't. Hollywood wasn't just watching the backlash unfold, they were taking notes. For years, Meghan had been one of the most talked about names in entertainment. She was everywhere on magazine covers, podcasts, red carpets, and TV specials. But after the Netflix fallout and now the BET Awards snub, the tone started changing fast. Movie producers who once saw Meghan as a fresh face with a compelling story were suddenly canceling meetings. She stopped getting offers to speak at major events. Former allies and media stopped returning calls. You could feel the shift happening in real time. Executives in the industry began to speak more openly behind closed doors. Some described her as high maintenance, others as too scripted. More than anything, they were tired of the drama that seemed to follow her every move. It wasn't that she was disliked, it was that she'd become a distraction. The cost of working with her now outweighed the potential benefit. What made things worse was the growing sense that Meghan was trying to force a comeback without addressing the root issue, public trust. People weren't buying into the carefully packaged moments anymore. They didn't want another speech or charity visit. They wanted honesty. But Meghan just kept doing more of the same. Even comedian Katherine Ryan jumped into the conversation, posting online, "Real stars don't need scripted sympathy or curated tears." Everyone instantly knew she was talking about Meghan Markle. It was another clear sign that Meghan's image wasn't working anymore. As the criticism piled up, Meghan tried desperately to regain her footing. She pitched new business ventures like wellness brands, luxury wines, and even boutique hotels. But none of these ideas resonated with the public. Her once loyal fans became quiet. Netflix reconsidered future projects with her, and even her Spotify deal disappeared. The real issue Meghan faces now isn't fame, it's relevance. People are drawn to genuine, authentic personalities, not carefully managed images. Kevin Hart's joke at the BT Awards wasn't just comedy, It was a wake-up call. Meghan's polished image wasn't fooling anyone anymore. Behind the scenes, Meghan's team scrambled to contain the damage. The BT snub, followed by the viral roast, left her brand in freefall. PR experts huddled over strategy calls, trying to spin the situation. Some suggested releasing a heartfelt statement. Others proposed a sudden charity appearance or a surprise podcast drop. But none of it stuck. Worse, Meghan's usual tactics, smiling photos, motherhood moments, inspirational quotes now came across as painfully hollow. Posts that once inspired thousands of comments were now met with skepticism or silence. A photo of her holding her daughter sparked debate over why Archie wasn't featured. A quote about mental health drew eye-roll emojis. Nothing was landing like it used to. And then came the identity crisis. Meghan, once seen as a bold disruptor of royal traditions, now seemed stuck in a cycle of image shifting. One week she was the misunderstood princess, the next a Hollywood producer, then a lifestyle guru. None of these roles felt anchored in anything real, and the public could tell. Her brand wasn't evolving, it was unraveling. For the first time, Meghan wasn't just being criticized, she was being ignored. And in the world of fame, that's even worse than backlash. As the silence from the public grew louder, Meghan's inner circle started to shrink. People who once championed her every move began quietly stepping back. Former friends stopped speaking up on her behalf. PR advisors who had worked with her for years moved on to other clients. The energy around her had changed, and she felt it. Meanwhile, Meghan threw herself into new projects. There were talks about a documentary that would show her true self, another podcast relaunch, and even a potential memoir. But these plans felt reactive, not inspired. Like someone desperately trying to hold on to relevance instead of redefining it. Inside her own team, there were disagreements. Some believed she should go quiet, stay out of the spotlight for a while, and come back stronger. Others argued she needed to push harder, flood the media with positivity, and fight back. But there was one problem. No one could agree on what her message even was anymore. At the heart of it, Meghan was caught between two identities: the polished icon she had built, and the vulnerable, unfiltered woman people hoped to see. The more she tried to blend the two, the more disconnected it all felt. And the public? They were tired. Tired of the mixed signals, tired of the performance, tired of the noise. At this point, Meghan was no longer dealing with just a PR problem. She was confronting a personal crisis. For so long, she had believed that hard work, good intentions, and a little bit of sparkle could win hearts. And for a while, it did. But somewhere along the way, the sparkle started to feel fake, and the carefully planned image started to crumble under the weight of public expectation. She looked around and saw a much smaller circle than before. Trusted allies had distanced themselves. Social media, once her playground, had turned into a battlefield. And the mainstream press, which once followed her every move with curiosity, had gone quiet. The silence was deafening. Even her most loyal fans began asking questions. Where was the real Meghan? Was she still the brave woman who stepped away from the royal family to protect her peace? Or had she become something else, something more manufactured, less relatable? Instead of feeling empowered, Meghan seemed trapped. Trapped in a cycle of trying to please, trying to impress, trying to matter. And no matter what she did, the connection wasn't coming back. Public interest faded. Industry doors closed. The impact she once dreamed of having started to feel out of reach. Today, Meghan Markle faces a critical crossroads. To regain public trust, she needs authenticity, not perfection. Kevin Hart's roast wasn't just a joke. It revealed the truth. Audiences see through carefully curated images. They want realness. Ultimately, Meghan must find a way to reconnect with people genuinely. If she doesn't, the spotlight she once enjoyed could fade away completely, leaving her questioning where it all went wrong. Real connection isn't created by PR teams or picture-perfect moments. It comes from showing the world who you truly are. So, where does that leave Meghan now? It's not too late for her to turn things around, but it's going to take something she hasn't shown in a while: vulnerability. Not the polished kind shown in documentaries or magazine spreads, but the kind that makes people say, wow, she's actually just like us. People don't expect perfection, they expect honesty, and Meghan has an opportunity here. If she can drop the filters, step back from the spotlight, and rebuild not as a brand but as a person, there's still time to shift the narrative. But until that happens, the world will keep watching, wondering if the woman once at the center of royal headlines and Hollywood buzz can find her footing again, not through strategy, but through sincerity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a story.